Hi everyone, it's Super D again from Sons of the Harpy. This is part 2 of my little solo adventure playthrough. If you remember from part 1, I am looking to do a no production, minimal base, scavenging, picking up weapons type of playthrough. And day 1 was just consisted of it was a few hours of play, just leveling up and picking up a couple of weapons. And this is the very next day, and what I'm looking to do is head down to the sort of jungle area to scout that. I have a few obelisks to pick up on the way. One of the drawbacks of a solo playthrough is you don't have a lovely clanmate to send you through to locations you haven't visited before. You have to do the hard yards yourself. So yeah, that's a little bit of what I'm doing. This base that I'm actually at, Imperium, I think, is the clan name. They seem to have quite a lot of infrastructure everywhere. There's map rooms, buildings. Some spots just seem to be claimed. So yeah, I think they've been here for a while, but I did notice that they did previously had 2 god balls on their base, and now there's 1. So it looks like they have been having a bit of a tough time with people raiding them. Also, part of my way through, I will be taking down the world bosses to get some more weapons on the way. I quite like the crocodiles. I think they're some of the easiest ones because they're quite predictable with their movements. In fact, most of the world bosses at the with this update are easily soloable on your own with limited armor, no thrall, whatever. So yeah, it's ideal for my needs. So that was the first shack that I built there that I was just at, and I was picking up the beautiful Pictish Brave outfit I stole from a poor player yesterday who was sleeping where they shouldn't be. It's not great armor, but it is better than the relic hunter stuff that I have already. So we'll do for the time being as I go. So yeah, into the jungle. We're just going to have a wee scout about, see who's what, see if there's any horses in here to steal, but no, sadly not. But yeah, the good thing about this update for me is that legendary weapons are legendary again. Too many updates gone by, the craftable weapons have been, stronger and more powerful than the actual stuff that you pick up. And it's just quite nice to have that balance again where, you've done something and your rewards a good weapon. I also like the classification changes to some of the weapons, changing some of the the swords and pikes to agility weapons. So you can now use these weapons with an agility build, which is quite nice. And similarly, you've now got strength bows, and you can get the you can add a bow to your strength build. So I think that kind of mixes it up quite nicely. I do quite like that as an addition. That is one thing I do enjoy about this update. I don't enjoy the performance. I think I've been doing these little solo things. I've been quite a few servers having a look in, some old servers, some new servers to me, and I found them, pretty much all of them, to have quite a bit of lag at some point during it, regardless of how busy they are or not. And I think that is something that's concerning. I also, two of the Sons of the Harpy actually play on PlayStation 4, and at the moment the game is pretty much unplayable for them on PlayStation 4. And I think it's a frustrating thing is this is a PlayStation 4 game. This is an old game, and if it's not running well on a PlayStation 5, it's going to be terrible on the PlayStation 4, and I think that's a real disappointment. Anyway, going past all these bases there, base spots there, there's nobody moved in yet, but it looks like there's a lot of claim So yeah, we'll be keeping an eye on that over the next couple of days of the playthrough. I also noticed this tower into the sky, which is slightly suspicious. It is Imperium again. And I think whenever you see a tower in the sky, it is, somewhat dodgy. And I think that is one of the other things that I am not enjoying about Conan right now, is the plethora of sky bases we seem to have. We've had ban metas where people with big bases get banned, but we don't seem to have seen any consequences for sky bases. You only have to look on YouTube to find plenty of examples of raids on them, and it's pretty frustrating. Here's another Imperium base there. Again, nothing in it, but I just decayed it. But it just seems to be claiming that spot, that little cave statue point in the jungle. So I'm not entirely sure why they claim so much, but yeah, hey ho. But this is where I am going now. This is my plan for armour. I am going Sobek. It's a vitality armour, so every piece gives you vitality. It is also temperature neutral, which is not that great because it means that it's not much use for either cold or hot weather. But yeah, it's also one of the nastier NPCs, these guys. They just hit ridiculously hard, and sometimes when you get a bit of lag in the server, you can get swiped out of nowhere. And with the archers as well, it can be quite a nasty little cave. So I always tend to put a bedroll quite nearby while I'm doing this. And another frustrating thing about this as well is the loot's rubbish. The loot from these guys, for being such a tough cave, is pretty rubbish. Bits of twine and things like that. It's just not good. Hopefully, with the new update, we're going to see the loot in the NPC camps improve quite a bit. So hopefully that cave will actually have some decent loot in it at some point, and not just the guaranteed armor drop at the end. So anyway, I have moved back towards my little temporary base. We're heading around Sinner's Refuge, or the Zuru Cave as I like to call it. I'm looking to see if there's any droppable armour in there, because quite often you can get some there. I'm also discovered a little open trashed base there that had a fluid press in it, and I need some blood to make some respec potions, so I have just put in some blood in there, which I'll pick up later for some respec potions, which I can make at my other trash base that I'm using, which is near my hut. So unfortunately I did not get anything from that cave of any use, and now I'm heading up to the spider cave that's just up here. Skittering something, I'm sure it's called. Anyway, it's quite a good wee cave, and it's on my way home, and it's good because the spider boss is a guaranteed drop of either throwing knives or the Nemedian helmet, which repairs your weapons when it's equipped, and it also obviously drops the skeleton key, and there's a chest at the back. So yeah, it's quite useful. It's a 2-for-1, if you will. And so yeah, I have got the throwing knives on this occasion, which is fine. So back at base, and now my plan is to go into the War Maker to get some more weapons. Obviously, as I'm sure you all know, it is probably the best place for weapons right now. Well, certainly the OP weapons in the game. And at this point here, my phone goes off and I get distracted, and then I see two people running towards me, and so I think I'm going to run away and get away from them. And unfortunately, I don't. Yeah, annoying. So yeah, one of them is one of the guys from BFE who we've fought with a few times, and the other is either Valley, Zuzu, or Angel, who we have teamed up with before, and they are both on the same team in this server. So there is no quarter given, and they nicked my stuff. Yeah, hey ho. So I'm back at the Sobek cave to get some more armor. I have literally put a box and a bedroll here, and I've decided that I'm going to upgrade and pimp out and have a hut in now instead, just for the storage, and also means that I can come and go as I please and pick up armor whenever I require it, if I lose it, like I just did there, or not. So yeah, back getting the Sobek armor, and there we go. And take two! Thankfully this time I managed to actually get into the dungeon unscathed, and I can go on my merry way. I think this is going to be really interesting in the next update in these dungeons, especially this one probably, because world bosses will not have chests beside them anymore. They'll still drop keys, and you'll pick up these keys, and you'll only be able to turn them in for weapons at the end of dungeons. So I think you're going to see a lot more traffic within the dungeon, certainly, and especially high-value dungeons like this one that have good weapon drops in. So I think you see quite a lot of pitched battles. You see clans waiting for each other, ambushing each other, and doing that. I mean, there's not a lot of places you can run and hide in here. You know, outside you can run, jump, climb, swim, whatever. In here it's a lot more limited. So yeah, I think it'll be very interesting. I think if you're a solo player like myself on this occasion, or a smaller clan, you're probably going to be revisiting some of those dungeons that you've not been in for ages, that are going to be a bit quieter. You know, they've got less loot in them, but they will be quieter to turn in the keys and get your weapons. I think that is kind of generally what's going to happen if you're doing that. I came to the unnamed mainly because I wanted to see if I can get some other pieces of armour, like some vermin hide or helm of the brute, or some of the scorpion armour. But the trouble is the RNG in the unnamed is pretty poor, and so you're just never really guaranteed anything, never mind a weapon or a piece of armour. The Sobek obviously is a guaranteed drop, so I think that is the easiest sort of armour to get pieces in if you're not doing a production, personally. And that way you can get an armour set as well. There's not many legendary armour sets that do a complete set here, so yeah, it's quite interesting to see. So now I have a full set of Sobek armour, which for some reason though I am not wearing because I'm actually topless here in this clip, which is bizarre. Never mind, I have a few weapons, so I'll just show you the builds that I used. I did think that one might be quite nice, but it turned out to be not. But this is the 444, 4 strength, 4 agility, 4 vitality. So I get a 957 HP with all the strength pieces, with all the vitality pieces that Sobek gives you, and 133 stamina, which with the given the current rate of stam regen is more than adequate. And I've got a nice weight as well. I'm in the green there with heals and food and some weapons. I then tried the agility build with the 4 agility, 4 vitality, and 4 stamina, and I put points into the armor against stamina attribute, so I ended up with 300 more armor with this build. So it's about 800 armor I get from this medium kit compared to 500 and something normally. However, it is completely unworkable as with only 2 weapons, 1 set of heals, and a tiny bit of food, you're at 99% encumbered. So you can only really utilise that if you're reducing the weight of the armour, and I don't really have that in my production. So yeah, it wasn't really viable for me. I'm down in the jungle here because I saw a lot of people popping on and popping off the player list, so it seems like a lot of people are dying, and lo and behold, this is actually a few days after I did my scouting down here. People have actually moved into these temples at the docks and the Watcher of the Passage, and there are raids going on. I think 2 simultaneous raids at the moment. It looks to me that 2 of the clans are fairly allied, and they're the ones that wipe these guys out. Everyone's actually being relatively nice to me and not actually attacking me, which is quite nice, but I'm just having a wee look to see if I can scavenge anything off the ground like the little feral person that I am, but unfortunately I walk into a bomb there, which is never good. The disappointing thing, I think, is after tonight, the server actually dies. 2 big clans obviously get wiped tonight, and the 2 clans that are remaining, the reason why I think they're allied is that they didn't seem to fight with each other afterwards, and they kind of body vaulted within sort of 2 days afterwards. And didn't come back to the server, which left the server pretty quiet, so it kind of reduced my sort of interest in kind of playing here. But this is actually the next day, and I've come back down to the area just to have a wee scout about, just to see what damage had been done. And yeah, true enough, both bases were wiped. And I'm also just down here to have a wee look for some body vaults, hopefully, which would be quite nice. So just having a wee look in the kind of nooks and crannies around these jungle temples, where you can kind of glitch yourself in and log off and be pretty hidden from view. I think quite a lot of people use these temples for body vaulting, especially if they live in the jungle. It's quite handy for them. And there's quite a lot of these spots, so you know, unless you've got a lot of time to check them all, then you can usually be quite safe there. This base, I noticed, actually had some thralls left in it, but I couldn't actually find them when I was having a look here, because I'm not sure if they were maybe meshed into the actual structure. But I had a good look around and there was nothing to be found. So yeah, so I finished having a wee scout around the ruin bases and having another little look in some of these little meshy spots, and I'm just about to kind of give up when I actually find someone, which is fantastic. And I then proceed to spear them to death and get their stuff. Unfortunately, this is more of a farming body vault. There is quite a lot of farming tools, which are not much use to me, as I am not really doing any farming or any production or anything. But you know what, waste not, want not, so I will save them in here for a rainy day. If I ever do come back and need anything, then I can do so. So I build myself a little shack again, just to kind of store them until I can carry them back at a later date. Throughout the whole time I've been playing in the server, you know, I've been obviously using these, well, it's 2 stone huts before then. They've been single walled, so people can punch through and have a look in. I've tried to deliberately make them not look very enticing, just like rubbishy wooden boxes in them. And yeah, luckily enough, no one actually felt the need to blow into them or anything like that, and I was pretty safe. I also tended, if I wasn't going to be on during raid time, to like take some really important stuff and sleep with that elsewhere. So I kind of had like effectively 3 stashes of stuff in case one of them got raided, which, you know, worked out quite well. My idea this server's gone a bit quiet, is to kind of finish things with a bit of a bang. So I noticed that there was a name set priest available in Sephiroth, and I also have a set altar I can still use in the wrecked base I've been kind of using as a little bit of production. So I'm going to collect a few extra zeals for that, and then hopefully summon a god on someone, which might be a nice way to finish the video. I'm also quite keen to have a look at the taming times on the Wheels of Pain. I've literally not done much thrall capture for a while. Haven't been rating thralls for quite a few updates. They die pretty easily and they seem relatively stupid. Zombies are obviously seem to be the main way to go at the moment. I think you see find every PvP server is pretty much full of them just now. And also it's quite time consuming leveling up the thralls as well, only for them to kind of be pretty useless. So yeah, back to what I'm doing just now. As I said, there's some zeal in the tier 3 temple already, but I think I need to make up about 200 or something in order to summon the god. And so I am just doing my little circuit around the sinkhole, just mainly because there's quite a lot of nice camps here. They are one shot, and yeah, that's pretty easy to do. And obviously I'm just doing this like naked with a spear, and I think I can get normally about just under 60 hearts when I'm doing this method. So yeah, it's not going to take me very long at all to get the zeal that I need. I think it's also going to be quite interesting with the changes to loot in the NPC camps, just to see actually how decent it is. Because I mean, half the time I don't think people even bother looking in chests anymore in the NPC camps because it's just normally trash. So that'll be quite exciting. I think the changes to the merchants might be interesting as well. I did see that you could perhaps buy things like bombs, explosive arrows and things like that from merchants, and that could potentially be really quite interesting. If people, you know, especially for a kind of playthrough like this without any production, if you can actually just basically buy stuff with coins, that would be really quite interesting. You know, you could effectively have, you know, really hidden stuff off grid, and unleash hell if you so desired. But yeah, I'm fairly stacking up my hearts, and that is basically me on my way to crafting. So fast forward another few days, I think. Kind of got sidetracked playing with a couple of other Sons of Harpy in another server that they kind of play with only a few players. It kind of got busy and they had a few sort of problems, so we kind of went along to have a bit of fun with them. Unfortunately, it's one of these servers. I'm not sure if it was the opposing clan that was doing it or what, but it's crashed all the time, and it crashed for up for 45 minutes, and it was incredibly frustrating. So yeah, I am back into the server, and I am crafting my god. The trouble with crafting a god in a destroyed base that is not your own is you kind of have to keep an eye on it. You can't just rely on it to come to you, especially this is quite a high sort of traffic area at the moment. It's the kind of only map room in the area, so yeah, it's a bit risky, and the server's got a little bit busy. My plan was to utilise this god on my old friends Hydra, who, if you remember, attacked me quite a lot in my first day. They've got a base up in the ice cave, so that is my plan. However, I have just spotted this horse and rider, and so I'm going to try and hide. Hopefully they'll just pass on by, maybe use the map room and clear off, and all will be well in the world. I'm just keeping a frantic eye. Oh, it's gone, and yeah, they've stolen it, and epic boobs or something like that have stolen my god. And this person is quite frustrating to fight because they've got a shield and I can't shield smash through it, so yeah, I think they would have been killed a long time before then if if they didn't have that. I'm obviously just desperate to get my god back, because yeah, I didn't do all this for nothing. I'm scared they're going to teleport away there, so get out the swipey sword. Thankfully they run away, and this kind of proves to be their mistake coming down here, and I'm able to actually kill them. And unfortunately, that's kind of it. the raid time was over, so I couldn't summon the god again. They also had 5 online, and so I kind of fought with them a bit and lost against all 5 of them on their thralls. And the base that I was using was due to decay the next day, and unfortunately they dismantled it. And it was also the first time they destroyed anything of mine as well. They actually destroyed one of my sandstone shacks, but I had anticipated that would happen, and so I took all my stuff away and hid it. So yeah, that's currently it for this particular server and video. I still have the priest, so I may return at some point to unleash some vengeance upon people. But yeah, I hope you've kind of enjoyed this. It's been a bit different, not a huge amount of action and fighting and things, but yeah, I just want to try a few different things. So thank you very much for watching, and we will hopefully see you all again very soon. I am working on a few different things. We've got some other videos perhaps in the pipeline, and with the new update coming out in the next couple of days, it'll be very interesting to see what happens. Thanks very much.